Have you ever found yourself avoiding a challenge just because you were afraid you might fail? We tend to think of bravery as this heroic trait, something you're either born with or you're not. But what if that's completely wrong? Today, we're going to tear that idea down and show you how to build a bravery mindset, not as some fixed trait, but as a skill, something you can actually learn. So, right off the bat, let's get this crystal clear. Bravery is a skill. It's not an innate quality you have or don't have. And honestly, just that simple shift in perspective, it's the key that unlocks everything else we're going to talk about. It means you can practice it, you can get better at it, and you can totally change how you face challenges in your life. And this quote it nails it, doesn't it? The whole point isn't to somehow eliminate fear. I mean, that's not realistic. It's not how we're wired. The goal is to make a conscious choice, to act even when you feel that fear. And because it's an action, it's something we can train ourselves to do better. So I want you to really think about this for a second. What would actually change for you if you knew for sure that you could get braver? What kind of opportunities would you jump on? What conversations would you finally have? Because by the end of this, you are going to have a toolkit to do just that. Okay, so that choice we just talked about, to act despite fear, it really creates two very different paths. You've got a life that's driven by fear versus a life that's guided by this new bravery mindset. Let's really look at the difference between the two. That fear-driven column on the left. Yeah, it's probably pretty familiar, right? We've all been there. You know that feeling when you see an opportunity, but that little voice in your head goes, "Oh, but what if I fail?" So you don't raise your hand. You stay silent. Now, the bravery mindset on the right isn't about getting rid of that voice. It's about changing the script. A challenge becomes a chance to grow. And failure? It's not proof you're not good enough. It's just data. Information for your next try. And here's the best part. Getting from that fear-driven side over to the bravery mindset, it isn't some huge, terrifying leap of faith you have to take. It's more like a bridge. And you build that bridge plank by plank, using a few specific, really practical principles.
Hey, if this roadmap is already starting to click for you, do me a quick favor and like this explainer. It's such a small thing, but it genuinely helps other people who are struggling with this find their own path to focus.
Form that feeling of fear into real, tangible courage. And here they are. First, you've got growth mindset. That's your foundation. Then comes grit. Think of this as the engine for your perseverance. Third is resilience, which gives you the tools to handle fear right in the moment. And finally, crucial conversations, which is where you take all that bravery and put it into action with other people. Okay, let's roll up our sleeves and actually build out this toolkit. For each of these 4 principles, we're going to look at the core idea, and then I'll give you a super simple practice you can start using, like today. All right, first up, growth mindset. This comes from the incredible work of Carol Dweck, and it's all about the fundamental belief that you can get better at things. See, if you believe your abilities are just fixed, you're going to avoid challenges because you don't want to look bad. But if you believe they can be developed, well, then every single challenge just becomes an opportunity to learn. This is the bedrock of bravery. And here's your first tool. It is such a simple language shift, but it is a game changer. The next time you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not good at this," just add one tiny word at the end. Yet. I'm not good at this yet. That single word transforms a dead end into an open road. It says, okay, this is hard, but growth is possible. Next up in the toolkit is grit, and this is based on Angela Duckworth's research. Grit is basically the bravery of endurance. It's about sticking with your future, day in and day out. Not just for a week or a month, but for years. It's that staying power that keeps you moving forward long after the initial excitement has faded. So, how do you actually build grit? Try something called the hard thing rule. Pick one thing that's challenging for you, that requires daily, deliberate practice. Now, here's the rule. You are not allowed to quit on a bad day. Ever. You can only quit when you reach a natural stopping point, like the end of a season or the end of a semester. This literally trains your brain to push through frustration instead of just giving in. Okay, principle number 3, resilience. Now, while grit is all about that long-term perseverance, resilience is about managing fear and stress in the heat of the moment. These are your in-the-trenches tools for when your heart is pounding and your mind starts racing. And here is an incredibly powerful, incredibly practical tool you can use. It's called the 4-7-8 breath. When you feel that wave of anxiety coming, just stop. Breathe in quietly through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold that breath for a count of 7, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 seconds. This isn't just a calming thought. It's a physiological hack. It literally signals your nervous system to calm down. And the best part? You can do it anywhere, anytime, and nobody even has to know. And that brings us to our final tool, crucial conversations. This is where your bravery goes from being an internal feeling to an external action. It's the skill of speaking your truth and hearing other people's, especially when the stakes are high, opinions are different, and emotions are running strong. This is the courage of connection. So, how do you do this without starting a fight? Use this really simple, safe framework. Step 1. Start with the neutral facts. For example, I noticed the report was due yesterday and it hasn't been submitted. Just the facts. Step 2. Share your story, your interpretation. I'm a little concerned we might be falling behind schedule. And then step 3, and this is the most important part, ask for their perspective. What's your take on this? See how that structure invites a dialogue instead of a conflict? It totally diffuses that defensive energy.
Because that's what this is all about, building a system that lets you learn and achieve anything you want. Inspire it, learn it, elevate it. For more tools and resources to keep going, check us out at www.elevena.it.
Tools isn't enough. The real journey, it starts with practice. And if there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. Think of bravery as a muscle. You wouldn't go to the gym one time and expect to be strong, right? It's exactly the same with courage. Every small act of bravery, every time you add the word yet, stick with your hard thing, use that 4-7-8 breath, or start a tough conversation, that's one more rep. And each one makes you just a little bit stronger for the next challenge. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Forget about trying to be brave everywhere all at once. That's overwhelming. Just pick one thing. What is one area of your life, maybe at work, maybe at home, maybe with your personal goals, where you want to be just a little bit braver? Start there. Start small. Start today.
So if you're ready to move beyond just surface-level learning and dive into something deeper, make sure you subscribe for more content just like this. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Now go out there, get inspired, and elevate your world.